and most shared important celebratory moments happen around food.
100%. Like I can't even remember a milestone, like a big moment, whether it was a party, a christening, a funeral, without food. Like food was massive in any culture, like you mentioned, but specifically like with West African culture. And I love the fact that you mentioned like it's the perfect art form. I often say like it's probably the only art form that can capture all five senses, right? You smell it, you hear it, you taste it, you're feeling it, you're like all of
Everything.
that, right? Everything. So in and of itself, it becomes an experience, right?
Yeah.
So when you can enjoy it with other people, a community, folks that look like you, folks that don't look like you either learn, you're picking up, you're carrying on traditions. So there's so many different beautiful things that actually come around and like revolve around food itself. So I absolutely love it. Yeah.
No, I mean I think it's so cool. I mean you nailed it with. I think we share the same idea about like it's the ultimate art form.
It is,
right?
yeah.
Culinary arts, like like people are always like what do you mean you're an artist? I'm like, what do you mean I'm not an artist? Like, what do you mean I'm not an artist?
We're taking raw material, right? We're using our brain creatively, and we're coming up with something like super unique.
And there's color palettes. There's the plate, the canvas.
There's, you know what I mean? There's symmetry. There's all this stuff. So there's definitely an
and you get to eat my art.
And you get to eat the art. Dude, that's right. It's wild though because we like being in the weeds, right? You cooked all this food for hours and hours and then someone enjoys it in like 20 minutes or less, right? So the art it's more of appreciation really inward. Like I love prep. I love like making stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then really the cherry on top is having somebody enjoy it.
Yeah.
But for me, the passion and everything is actually just taking those raw materials, right? Like we talked about, and making something absolutely delicious. And it's like it's a tribute of my ideas, like my creativity and everything that's kind of happened before me and all my past experiences, working in different places, doing the shows, you know what I mean? Like all of it kind of comes right then and there, and you kind of just like go.
I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm with you there. So what was like your earliest childhood memory of cooking? Like what was but by the way, my son and I love the book.
Thank you, bro.
Right?
Thank you.
What was the name of it? We don't have it.
Sankofa, yeah.
Sankofa. Tell people where they can find it.
Oh man, anywhere books sold. I love the fact that I can say anywhere books are sold.
Yeah,
the books are sold. It sounds so professional. But dude, it's a cool, resilient book about culinary and belonging. And the story is it's a fictitious story, but it's really much like me. It's patterned off of me. We have a young boy named Kofi who is tasked to bring a potluck dish to his a cultural potluck dish to his class, 4th grade, and he's kind of apprehensive. He's a little nervous. He's not sure that his classmates are going to like it. And he has this kind of like culinary exploration and discovery with his grandfather that kind of, the next week he's so excited to go back and share his food. And it's really a little bit about me. I grew up, again, very eclectic neighborhood, but I remember like the curry smell coming off my shirt. Like when I walked.
You're like, what? You're like, oh no,
dude,
Drakkar or Cool Water or whatever.
And I tried, and it's just like, it's like a bed of potpourri on top of like curry. Right? It never like masks the scent fully. But no, I remember that and just kind of having like. It's a little bit of not understanding of where, fully who I am. I had a little bit of the duality of like coming from America, very much like I sound, you know what I mean? I have an American accent and all that, but then I go home and like everything is like raw African, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of like trying to figure out where I had my place in. But what's so wild, and especially now in my adult age, I can talk to so many other people that had the same experiences, whether from Pakistan, India, you know what I mean? Greek, Jew, whatever. Like there were so many people that kind of like walked that similar path. Either your first generation, second generation, you understood. So even though it was a story very much like me, I feel like I spoke for a lot of folks.
Big time.